Hi, welcome to the Tamia
and Tamika show. Tamia, I ran across an article called by dadsdivorce.com. It's called The Four Problems with Modern Child Support System. So, I think it's more than four, but that's all they were talking about. So let's talk about it.
This one is on dadsdivorce.com.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're saying that pretty much the child support law is based on a 40-year law that happened like 40 years ago, but they never updated it, where it sees women as being homemakers and then the men being the breadwinners. There's a couple of problems with that because nowadays women are working,
right?
And then in the state of Florida, you're required to pay your portion of care, for your child. So if they're using this outdated law, pretty much the man is stuck paying this big amount of child support, because they still see the women as being homemakers, which I think is unfair in certain situations.
Well, I don't know, because don't they take the financials of both parties nowadays?
Right, but they don't verify, because I know for specifics.
You mean in court they don't verify?
They don't verify. So pretty much you could tell them whatever and then give some boo-hoo story, and the man's left paying all of this child support. I know a situation where the lady was like, I am a waitress and I only make this. She wasn't a waitress. But anyways, to each his own. I'm a waitress and I only make this, and started crying and doing this boo-hoo sob story. And the man ended up paying between $1,600 a month in child support for 3 kids. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, he need to get a clue, because nowadays men, they in the divorce, or if they didn't get married or whatever, they still go to court. They fight for custody, joint custody or full custody. And when they go for the child support, they put in the child support in the court system. They let the judge know, hey, I have part custody, so she shouldn't be getting any more as if she's handling the kids full time, because that's not what's going on. And here's all of my receipts of all the grocery bills, because I feed them when they over here. So, I mean, it's different these days. I know you say it's the system, but child, please, they work that.
Well, here's the thing. I guess a lot of men think that just because their name is on the child support, that automatically gives them rights, and it doesn't. And so they don't think about, oh, well, she filed a child support petition on me. Let me go and put in for a parental responsibility plan or something. They don't think like that. They just like, well, I'm going to get time sharing because, granted, I made myself responsible for these children when I signed the birth certificate. I made myself legally responsible for these children. And the man is not responsible? Okay. I made myself legally responsible for the children when I signed the birth certificate. And unfortunately, there's a lot of men who sign the birth certificate and it's not their child. And in the state of Florida, it's so messed up, because even if you're paying child support and you find out later on it's not your child, you still got to pay child support, because it's in the child's well-being. They're not going to snatch a father from a child. Yeah, but I believe, I'm not sure, but it would make common sense that the father who's not turned out to be not the father, can they go to court and sue the mother for the funds that they've already given? Well, hopefully they can, but I think the woman has to agree to disestablish paternity. Disestablish paternity. Let me tell you something. Some women are just real trifling. Like, they won't disestablish paternity. They was like, well, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, she would honestly make up this whole story. Like, I didn't know. I told him that it was a possibility with something. So it's hearsay. It becomes hearsay. And so ultimately, the person that's paying child support gets screwed. Or even women pay child support. No, like Medea said, Dana know everything. Dana know the truth, okay? So you're saying that regardless... Take a DNA, okay, baby? Take a DNA Right.
and you won't get stuck with that. Okay.
Well, that's true. That's what I would do. But when you're believing somebody, or you don't have any reason to believe that this person is cheating on you, there's a baby. Oh, it's mine. Until later on, you start looking at the baby. That baby looks nothing like you. That baby don't look like me, But she said it was mine. So you want to believe the person that you're with.
No. Just like people who got money, even if people who even don't have a half percent will do a what do you call a prenup? Okay.
Oh, you can also do a post-nup too.
Yeah.
But what I would suggest for people that are having children, they're not married to that person, never trust what they tell you. I would say this, because we all know people are put on child support for more than just, they're not taking care of the child. They're put on it because they don't want to be with that person. Jealousy. It's always something. So what I would suggest for people, prepare yourself. For men, if you're going to be on it. For women, if you're going to somehow be on it, I would say do a CD. I would say from the time that child is born, get a CD, and every 12 months or however long it takes for them to mature, always renew it, but get a CD, because things like this happen. So when she does file that petition, you already have all the money, so you won't have to be paying rears unexpectedly, because they'll give you the order and then you have an extra amount for the rears.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be stuck doing that.
Interest, you'll be making interest on your money. So.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next problem that the article says is the system makes it particularly tough on low-income fathers.
Right.
Woe is me. I mean, I once again, first they say the system is outdated. Once again, you can work around that. I mean, low income, I don't think that it really hits low income fathers, because guess what? When you go to court, again, they lay out all the financials.
Right.
I mean, how is that hard on low income fathers? It goes by your income, what you can afford.
Well, here's the thing. It goes by your income, but there's also, you can file a motion to deviate from the child support guidelines.
Yeah, they always trying to deviate. That's the problem. That's the problem.
And so, but it goes by the income. But that's why I said this is so outdated, because even though if the male is low income, that's why the law is still based on the male being the breadwinner. So even if he's low income, because they don't verify the financials, then they still get stuck with this huge bill, because the mom could just say, I'm doing everything and he's always gone, and and all this or whatever, and so the man gets stuck with this high bill. What I think should happen, honestly, just like they make you I guess they're going to be starting doing drug tests if you receive like food stamps or Section A and all this stuff. I think they need to do the same thing with child support. I need a drug test, because saying, if you're talking about I'm paying all this money because of my child's well-being. But what if the mom's high all the time? That's not for my child's well-being.
No, they should go to court and get custody.
Well,
that's common sense. If you got to pay anyway, why not have the kids with you? Because you're single? Oh, it's a lot of single women out there. So, hello. And like I said, there's some guys doing that now. We know a male that has gone to court and got their child. So yeah. I mean, you can't say. So I'm disagreeing with this article. I mean, I'm not having no mercy just because you low income. Chaboo. I mean, you made that baby, you need to take care of that baby.
Right, but you need to take care of the baby. Nobody's like acquitting him or her from taking care of their responsibility, but it should be equal. There's no, why does it, and then unfortunately, say the mom or dad decides to get a job within, say the court after the court order has been established. Well, they're not going to be honest about it and be like, oh, well, now I have a job, because honestly, you can't modify that child support. You can't modify that child support court order until exact year. So if you're stuck paying $1,500, you're going to be paying that $1,500 for a whole entire year until you're able to modify that.
So you can't contest it or appeal it? I mean, you can't go back to file a motion to the court.
I don't know if you can file a motion, but I think that's when you do the modification. I
Okay,
think that's
men, work with your attorney, okay?
What if you don't have an attorney? What if you're proceed?
Look, work with your attorney. It's some out there. You know a friend, okay? Y'all got friends for everything else. You know a friend that's an attorney. A friend of a friend that's an attorney. Okay, so you go to court and try to appeal whatever to your income. And not only that, this is what else I would do. If you're, taking the kids on the weekends or whatever, you got some time with the kids and you might not be all up on your financials. But, I mean, I would go to the court with my time with the kids too.
Right.
All of that need to be considered.
It does. You know what I'm saying? How many nights and days that you're with the children, that's considered. Your income is considered. I think that's pretty much what's it. You know what I'm saying? What do you already provide, like medical and stuff like that, but your clothing and stuff, you need to have receipts for that. If you give her a child support payment and before it's through the court, make sure you write on there it's for child support, because she could easily say, oh, that was a gift.
Okay, now this goes to our next one, and the third tip was, or the third problem they stated was the deadbeat dad myth. Basically saying that all men are deadbeats.
Or the man that can't afford to financially take care of their children, at least if they emotionally take care of their children, they're deadbeats.
Yeah, they spend time with the kids. I don't see why they shouldn't get credit for that. And I know the women out there are going to say, well, I don't get credit for, yes, you do. That's why it's automatically assumed that you're the one that's getting the child support because the kids are with you. Hello. But when the man spends time with the kids, he don't get credit. I mean, that's really biased, gender biased.
Well, it's gender bias, but at the same time, it also takes money to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? You telling your child, oh, I love you all day long, but the mom's up here busting her behind in order to take care of the child. No, you ain't getting no credit for that.
Okay, well, what about it takes time? When he get off his job or whatever, it takes time. I mean, some guys be out there, some guys are out there partying and doing their thing. Mm-hmm. But what if the guy take time out of his day, go by and see the kids, or the grandparents in some cases, because y'all might have a prearranged
right.
prearranged meeting because y'all can't deal with each other.
Right.
So I mean, whatever the case is, he take his time to pick up the kids, mm-hmm. go to a basketball game or to the movies or whatever. All of that is time that he took out. Mm-hmm. And you saying that they should just automatically get money, just because the kids are with her. I mean, technically the kids are with him for a period of time too.
Yes, that is true. But of course, don't see it like that. They see it like the nights and days. They don't see it as, oh, you took 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes to go to a basketball game. How many nights you have him? How many days you have this child? That's what they base it on.
Okay. Again, seek attorney.
Listen,
because it ought to be some time or a way that you can figure out an hour out of a week, 2 hours out of a week, whatever, or out of the day can be converted into money. Like this amount of time is chopped down into this amount of money, credit, or whatever that I should be getting, or that the court should consider.
Right.
Because again, it's not fair. It's really not fair.
It really isn't fair. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you work long distance, or you're out of the country or something like that. If your job consists of you not always being in the same state of that person, that's probably the only thing you can do. You're able to do, oh, I have this week, let me spend it with my children, especially if they're in school. I can see if it's like summertime, then you can get your kids more. But if you're out of state and stuff like that, it's still ample amount of time, so that should be considered. But unfortunately, because the law is outdated, that's not considered. It's pretty much like some pity pat, and the women take advantage of that, or the men.
That's
depending on who's paying the child support.
Again, because they don't have attorneys. A good behind attorney, Child, they will be all up in that court. Now he did this. We got a receipt for this. This is the time. Boom, boom, boom. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look, baby, seek attorneys.
Yes.
Okay?
And if you cannot afford an attorney, you're
a friend of a friend of an attorney. Look, again, y'all know people. Come on.
Motion. You're your own attorney. Don't go in there thinking that you where she says that you don't have to defend it, because you know you can be unprepared. You're not knowing that you're your own attorney. You need to have facts. You can't just like, oh, I did this, I did that. You need to have some type of documentation if you cannot afford an attorney.
Okay. And I just want to be clear, I'm not against the women. I'm a single parent. I was a single parent for a long time, and I was getting child support, but he was a good dad, okay? So, but I'm not bashing the women. I'm just saying it's just not fair. I'm just saying for the fellows who really are pulling, it's not fair. Okay, but the last problem that the article states is the current system fixate on enforcement.
Yes.
And ignores involvement.
Right.
Like what we were talking about
yes,
before.
absolutely. Because a lot of women, you know, or men who get child support, they'll be like, oh, well, I don't care if I don't want him to spend time with his kids because he's with her and I don't like her for whatever reason. And so, but long as he paid me, girl, he's sitting down paying me. I'm getting my hair done with this kid's money and all this. You know what I'm saying? Just ratchet behavior. So
ratchet.
You know, the kids don't have mattresses. The kids don't have new shoes.
Oh,
you still
Lord.
hitting up the man or woman who's paying child support for additional needs. So getting a job is not an option. So are you telling me you can't get a job?
Exactly. And I mean, there's more jobs out there, girl. There's so many jobs posted out there. If you can't get a job right now, okay, let me stop. I said I was gonna be nice. All right.
Speak it.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, just because you can get certain amount for so much for every kid, it don't mean you can't work. Trust me, if you start on a particular job and you might feel like it's not worth it because you don't get that little welfare money, whatever, trust me, it's worth it, because when you trust in God and you keep moving forward, keep pushing, what you do when you get your foot in the door, you start moving up. Go and look and see what they have, what openings they have. Trust God and apply for it and keep moving up. Once you start moving up, girl, child, please.
Right.
God will bless you. And that little government money, child, boo.
But some people don't want to do that. They want to be like, oh, work smarter, not harder, quote unquote. Like, let me make sure I get the least amount of hours, so he'll be stuck with this amount of child support, you know, because it's based on your income. So I'm not saying this right, but you know what I'm saying, we have pieces of ratchet behavior doing stuff like that.
No, I mean, if you really was smart, you would go and get a job, start working up, start getting up, go to school, whatever, do what you need to do. And whatever he put back, you can put that towards a fund. I'm just
Absolutely.
saying, make the money work for you.
Because when you pay that child support, he can be like, I'm not paying nothing else other than the child support. And then you're going to look crazy. So what you going to do?
So again, back to what I was saying. I think that what the emotional part and the time, spending the time, all of that should be taken into consideration. And you know, as far as the courts and the system being outdated, I mean, it may be, but again, people work around that, and in whatever you are, the man or the woman, I would take my case straight to court.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, but I'm not, again, bashing any of the women out there. I'm just saying, again, it's men out there pulling. So men, you need to step up, find you a friend. If you can't afford an attorney, just get some advice. Call, I mean, it's some legal, some charity legal aids out there. So hit them up. You know what I'm saying? And get some advice if you can't afford them. You know what I'm saying? So just go ahead and see what you can do as far as, you know, making sure you're not being taken advantage of, because you putting in the work, you know what I'm saying, you putting in the time with your kid, and just because you come up a little short with the finances, I mean, you got to make sure your relationship with your children are right. You know what I'm saying? And you have to get that straight. And you don't want anything to, you know, destroy that relationship. So don't give her a reason. And if you're a guy, you know, with the kids, don't give, you know, don't give her a reason. And if it's the other way around, don't give him a reason. Women.
But even if you don't give him a reason, you know what I'm saying, sometimes the person that's the man or woman, you know, of the custodian parent will still tell their child like negative stuff about the father, you know what I'm saying, if the father doesn't do exactly what she wants him to do. So now the kids, you got the you got the poisonous parent, the one who's telling all the shenanigans to the child, in a child's ear, and trying to go against like the father and stuff like that. So it also makes it hard for them to build that bond, because it's like, oh well, he don't care about y'all, saying he got a new family, or he's doing this and he's doing that, and that's not even the case. You don't know what the father's going through. You don't know if his struggles or whatever. The kids are only being told what the mom wants them to hear. She wants them to have a feeling towards the father for absolutely no reason, just because he decided he wanted to move on, because he want to do with your psychoness.
Well, I mean,
go get some help, boo.
I mean, well, you'll reap what you sow.
Yes, you will.
You will reap what you sow, because that child will grow up, and even though they think that way, when that child grow up and he finally reach out to her, it's gonna be a different story. Then what you gonna do? It's gonna bite you because she's gonna look at you all kinds of crazy. And that relationship that you had with your child all those years, it's gonna be broken overnight.
Absolutely.
So be mindful, what you reap, you will sow.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching the Tamia and Tamika show, and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel, and continue to watch us every Sunday at 4 p.m.